evidently we're having some tech issues, so I created a new live. This may not do well now since I had to stop it, but I'm hoping that stopping it and creating a new live will help fix things. Let's see. I'm going to give just a few minutes and see if anybody's able to find this live and to come on before I keep going on, because I know you guys wanted the recipe. And we're back. Hey, Dawn. Okay, I'm sorry that it froze on me. So let me show you what's in my bowl. It looks like a big mess right now, but it's a onion that's finely diced. And then you're going to want to do 2 cans of cream of mushroom of your choice. The ones that I have are from Aldi, and my family really, really likes them. They actually prefer this, over the Campbell's soup, believe it or not. So then you're also going to want 1 egg and 1 cup of mayonnaise. And so I had asked Dawn, what kind of mayonnaise do y'all use up north? Because down here we use Duke's mayonnaise. So if you try this recipe, and I don't know if you can even buy Duke's up north, but if you can, you're going to want Duke's mayonnaise, because like Hellmann's and the other like sweeter different kinds of mayonnaise, I don't think that it would taste the same. So what kind of mayonnaise do you use? I'm curious. So now what I'm going to do is whisk all of this together. I did put some salt and some pepper into this, but you just want to make sure that the egg gets good and incorporated in. And the more that you whisk it, the more fluffy that it gets and the better consistency that your broccoli casserole turns out. And I guess I need to find my new live so that I can actually see your comments. I hate that I had to do that. Now they're going to be separated, but hopefully people and see, that's the thing. I can't see your live comments here if I don't schedule the live. It doesn't give me a video option for some reason to pull up, so I'll just come up and try to read them. They just started selling it here. We are Duke crazy and awesome, good deal. I want to go back and see the first one again. Okay, you can. So again, 1 onion, 2 cans of cream of mushroom, 1 egg, 1 cup of Duke's mayonnaise, salt, pepper is what I have in here. And then you just whisk it really, really well. I'm going to go grab my broccoli out of my refrigerator. The thing I love about this is, again, you can make this the day ahead. Put it in the top shelf of your fridge because that's going to be the coldest part of your fridge. Let me grab my broccoli. Okay. I get frozen broccoli that's already chopped. You can do fresh broccoli. I used to do that. You really can't tell a difference once it's cooked. And so it's usually a little bit cheaper to buy it frozen, and it's already, all the work's already done for me. So that's what I have gone to doing. But you can do fresh broccoli if you want to. I do 2 bags of broccoli. This one is 12 ounces a piece. I think that I've used the 16 ounces too. My Ingles was out of broccoli already, and I bought my groceries a week ahead of time, and they were already out of broccoli. So I had to get my broccoli from Aldi. So I think typically it's normally like a 16 ounce bag that I use, and I do 2 of those. But we're going with what I was able to get today. So you're just going to incorporate all of this, stir it together. Use the same bowl so that you're not having a ton of dishes. And all I'm doing is stirring this up. You just want to kind of fold it in so that you're not breaking your broccoli. And you can do it totally frozen if you want to, and then just put it into the fridge and let it thaw overnight. What I did was I took my broccoli out yesterday and put it into my refrigerator, and I let it thaw last night. And so it's already thawed. And so it'll be the perfect consistency and texture. It won't add any like extra water or anything to my casserole. But I'm going to put it into my little cheat pans. I do not want to go to somebody else's house and have to do dishes or bring dishes back to my house and clean dishes that are stuck on. And plus I don't want to break my dishes taking them anywhere. So I always use the little cheat pans and we throw them in the trash when we're done. And that way if there's leftovers too and somebody wants to take it home, they can, because they're not going to have my bowl. Do y'all use the little cheat pans? Oh, you're sweet. David. Duke's. Dawn. Nancy, what kind of mayonnaise do you use? Do you use Duke's mayonnaise too down in Texas? So, that is good and incorporated. Lots of mayonnaise, lots of cream. And I'm just going to add this to my pan. Now, the day that you go to cook this, you're going to cook it for a solid hour on 375, and you're going to cover it. And so I'm going to go ahead and cover it with my tin foil now and stick it in my refrigerator to keep it cold until tomorrow. If you do it the day ahead, pull it out about 20 minutes before you're actually going to bake it so that it can kind of start coming to room temperature and help it cook more evenly. Just adding all my stuff to my sink. Y'all are right on top of my sink. That's the reason you can't see it. My Grammy was from Ohio. My aunts and stuff lived in Ohio. I told you in my sweet tea video that my grandparents are from Michigan on half of my family. So I'm half Southern and half Yankee, I guess you say. All right. So that is what our casserole looks like. We're just going to cover this with some tin foil now. Let me wash my hands. I got egg on me. Cover it with tin foil, put it in your fridge. Take it out 20 to 30 minutes ahead of time. Cook it on 375, covered. 375 for an hour. Once that is done, you're going to take shredded cheese. I tend to use a mixture of like a Colby Jack, and then I also do sharp cheddar cheese. I do the whole block of sharp cheddar and then just sprinkle a little bit of Colby Jack on top once it has baked for the solid hour. I'm gonna grab my tin foil. When it's done for the hour and you put the cheese on it, I also do the French fried onions. I don't know, some people like those and some people don't. I love them on broccoli casserole. So you do the cheese after it's baked for an hour, and then you layer on the French fried onions. I get these from Aldi too, but you can use, I think they're French's brand too, but the fried onions. And we put this on top, and you bake it just until the cheese melts and it's golden brown. Maybe like another 10 minutes, 20 minutes. And if you make this, come back to this video and let me know if you make my broccoli casserole and if anybody likes it. Alright, so we have this done. We're going to put this in the fridge now because it's got eggs in it, so you don't want to leave it sitting out. I should have made more room in my refrigerator for all of this. All right, so that is recipe number 3 technically because we made sweet tea. I'm going to rinse this off and we are going to start chopping up some potatoes. So this year my sister actually offered to help cook, and she doesn't really like to cook. I'm going to make this. I've never done this one before. Oh, awesome. Let me know if you like it. And Dawn, I'm also curious too. I was going to drop my casserole dish on. Oh my gosh. See, that's the reason that I'm not doing that. I've already dropped and broke my biscuit bowl that I have had since my husband and I got married. And I didn't cry, but I wanted to. It was not a like fancy bowl. It was a little red bowl. I actually still have it because I haven't tossed it yet. Nothing fancy. I think it was like a Rachel Ray. No, it's Pioneer Woman. But I got it from like a small box store in our area when we first got married because it was discounted. You know, we were really poor. And so I bought it at that discount store. And I have just used it every time I've made biscuits. And it cracked. I don't know if it cracked when I was washing it, but now like if I try to make bread or anything in it, the water just seeps out of the bottom of it. So I'm going to have to get me another biscuit bowl. My grandmother, the big one that you're seeing me use now, is actually one that my grandmother gave me that she doesn't use, just for me to be able to have one. But it seems kind of thin and like fragile, and I don't want to break it. And so I'm not the easiest in the kitchen or on men, from what my husband says. And so I need to get another one to be able to make my biscuits in. All right, so my sister, like I said, she's helping this year. I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place trying to clean the kitchen and chat with you guys. She typically brings plates and drinks and napkins because she's the one that doesn't cook in the family typically. And this year, because my son is 15 months old and he is all over the place, I was like, ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get all of this stuff done with him, like between naps and him being up. And my sister was like, well, let me help you. Plus, groceries are expensive. And since, you know, I stepped away from my job to be home with my son, I was trying to keep things as frugal as I could with making things for Thanksgiving. And so she offered to make the crock pot macaroni and cheese that my family tends to enjoy, which is the Paula Deen crock pot macaroni and cheese is what I tended to make. And so she is making that. And so that took one thing off of my list from having to make it, and off of the grocery budget, which was very, very nice. So we don't have like a ton of other things to make. My responsibility this year, sweet tea, mashed potatoes, and I'll do gravy to go with those. Now my mom makes the turkey gravy, but I'll add some extra gravy just in case there's not enough. Mashed potatoes, broccoli casserole, the dressing, my grandmother's dressing recipe. And for my husband's side of the family, I'll do homemade cheddar bay biscuits to go along with those. Fried cabbage. We chopped the cabbage together yesterday. So I don't have as much to make this year, which is okay. I love to cook, so it wasn't really a big deal. I just have my potatoes that we washed together yesterday sitting on my island and had them drying. So I'm going to go ahead and chop these potatoes. You can do that fine. As long as you cover them with water, they won't turn. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in my Instant Pot container, so it's one less dish. And what I'll do is we'll chop them up today and then put them in here, top them with water. And when we actually go to cook them, all I have to do is take them out and drop them in the Instant Pot, and they're good to go for tomorrow. Now these, I just got these, but they're already turning a little green, so I'm going to peel these. I tend to like potatoes that have the skin on. I always eat the whole potato if I have a baked potato or anything, but I know a lot of families don't. So I was going to peel them anyway, but because they're green, I'm definitely going to peel them. I'm going to try to have you over here with me. I'm just going to peel them real quick on my trash can. It's already getting full. I started the day with emptying my dishwasher and emptying my trash can so that we would be good and set for the day, but it fills up fast. Half of my family wants really, really finely pureed mashed potatoes. They don't like any lumps. I am perfectly fine with lumpy mashed potatoes. It's funny how polar opposite people can be on potatoes and macaroni and cheese and all of that stuff. And so I am going to go ahead and blend these up really good with my immersion blender once they're cooked. So we're just going to go ahead and get them ready today. I love this vegetable peeler. I got it at the Christmas show in North Carolina. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's like Swiss, Gotze. Very, very good. And it's got like attachments, so you can like julienne carrots and do all this like fancy stuff with them. And so a lot of the times I'll use this too for my carrots if I want them like super, super thin. Especially in like my ramen recipe that I make. Making a mess. I'm gonna have potatoes everywhere. I don't know that there's a way to do this and not make a mess, really. I normally did like a whole 5-pound bag for each side of our family of potatoes, because there's so much food every year. It ends up being that they don't all get ate. And you can definitely do a lot of stuff with mashed potatoes left over, but I don't want to eat Thanksgiving and potatoes and all of that forever. You can definitely turn it into like potato soup. You can thicken other recipes with it, but I've decided instead of doing a full 5-pound bag this year for each side, I was only going to do a 5-pound bag for both of them. Let me check that cornbread. Okay, I'll let it go a little bit longer. It feels like it's pretty done, but I like it to be a little brown on top. So that was 35 minutes. I'm going to add an additional 10, and we'll check it again in just a second. So anyway, I'm only going to do a 5-pound bag this year for the whole family, and because they're back to back, I'm just going to go ahead and cook up the full 5 pounds of potatoes tomorrow. And to thin them back out, I can add more ingredients to them if they get a little dry, but they should be fine. I put a lot of extra stuff in my potatoes. Oh yeah, for sure. Love lumps. Me too. I've always loved lumpy mashed potatoes. I don't know. I like having a little bit of texture when I'm eating stuff. I feel like you actually get to bite something. I would actually probably do, instead of mashed potatoes, if my family would eat it, I would probably actually do like a loaded chopped potato. Like chopping them up, put them in the crock pot with some olive oil and some salt, and then I top them with, you know, like cheese, bacon, green onions, whatever. I would prefer that, and I would leave the skin on, but that's just my preference. Nobody else would probably eat that but my husband, because I make it at home for us. But my brother-in-law, he tends to be a little picky. We love him, but he's picky. That's the truth. He's one of those ones that doesn't let his food touch, so my mom has to buy fancy plates where the food is separated. Do y'all guys have that in your family? Or maybe y'all are one that has that preference too. But he is, he's funny. And so we always pick on him. He doesn't eat cream cheese either. And so a lot of the stuff, of course, for Thanksgiving and other things has cream cheese in it. But I try to make it where people will eat the majority of what I bring. My stepdad doesn't eat onions, and so he won't eat the broccoli casserole. He won't even try it, which is crazy because you can't taste it. Like, I mean, you can't. They're there, but like the texture is gone because they're cooked so thoroughly. So he's probably the only one that won't eat. If it has any kind of onion, he's not going to eat it. My grandmother makes potato salad for Thanksgiving, and she puts a ton of onions that are fresh in her potato salad. He will not eat it, so she makes him a separate bowl just for him of potato salad that has no onions in it. And we talk about how spoiled he is that she does that for him. This is our last potato. I'm sorry. I know it's probably not that interesting to watch somebody peel 5 pounds of potatoes. Now, how do y'all make your potatoes? Hilarious, not me, pile it up and pour. Girl, me too. My thing is it's going to the same place. Doing scallop potatoes. Didn't use a recipe, but everyone loved them. I love scallop potatoes. Very, very good. To me, the food's going all to the same place. I'm like, Dawn, pour it all on my plate. covered in gravy and call it a day. And then give me a nap when I'm done. World's fastest dishwasher. That's my husband, guys. The Healing Road Home. He has his own YouTube channel too if y'all want to check him out. I don't like onions, but we'll eat them if they're diced small. Remember getting offered onion soup. Oh, now I probably wouldn't want like just onion soup. But you should try the broccoli casserole if you like broccoli casserole. With the onions, the flavor that they give cooked is really good. And just mince them. Like if you have a blender or a food processor, mince them really, really well. And you won't even know that they're there. All right, so there's all of our potatoes. I'm gonna bring you guys back over here. Trying to get y'all as close as I can to everything. I'm just gonna be chopping some potatoes and we're gonna put them in my bowl over here. So again, we're just gonna put this into my Instapot bowl so that tomorrow I can just throw it into the Instapot and be done. Any potato is good for me. Nancy, that is me. Y'all are probably gonna laugh. We love Texas Roadhouse. We go there occasionally, maybe for an anniversary or something. My husband loves their steaks. I go for the potato. Like I can have like a little bite of steak and whatnot, but I want a really good loaded baked potato and a salad, and I am good when we go there. But I want all of the potatoes. I could live on potatoes, probably. Fun fact, you actually can live on potatoes. They have tons of nutrients in them. I did a lot of research on health and wellness, just educating myself beyond what the medical system actually does when you go to nursing school and nutrition, because most doctors and nurses, you get just like a small amount of nutrition classes in each little class that you take, but doctors only actually get about 2 hours of nutrition in all of their degrees, years of study. And so I wanted to make sure that we were eating very healthy and nutritious for our family, especially with my little one now. And so there's some really good books that I've read, like Your Body in Balance by Dr. Neil Barnard. There's a couple holistic providers that I like to listen to, and a lot of them are actually plant-based providers that I've listened to over the years. And so I do have a lot of plants in our diets because of that. We still do eat meat too, but not as much as we used to. But yes, I'm like, Nancy, give me all the potatoes. I could eat potatoes all day long. Any way that you want to give them to me is perfectly fine with me. Now, I have a question too. How do you make y'all's mashed potatoes? Love broccoli casserole. I'm here for it. Good. I'm sorry that the streaming has been so terrible today. I put the full, like, what you need on this side, but I also showed you how to make it on the other video that was streaming before it shut down, so I apologize for that. We are thinking and looking about getting an alternate internet provider at our house. I don't know if it's me or if it's YouTube. Have you guys watched any more lives and had anybody else having issues today? Or is it just me? I was curious how everybody else makes their mashed potatoes. I actually learned how to make mashed potatoes from my stepmom years and years ago. I haven't seen my dad since I was 16. Not a sob story, no sympathy or anything like that needed, but her name was Deb, and she was really sweet, and she loved to cook, and so I would go into the kitchen with her when I did see him, and she made the best mashed potatoes, and I wanted to know how she made her mashed potatoes, and so I stayed in the kitchen with her, that and a chef salad. She made the best chef salads too. They had everything but the kitchen sink in them, and so I would stay with her in the kitchen while all the other kids were outside, and I would cook with her. and she taught me how to make her mashed potatoes, and it's nothing like overly fancy, but I'm curious if other people put this one ingredient in their mashed potatoes that we now do. Grew up on steak. I'll order the fish. Me too. I bring the steak home. Steak and fish are both great. Yes, they are. This is my only live today. Oh, Dawn, you're sweet. Thank you for being here. First live that I've been able to watch. My mashed potatoes are simple. Heavy cream, butter, salt, pepper. I've added garlic before, but some like it and others don't. I love garlic. If you come to my house, pretty much everything that I have has got garlic of some kind in it. And oh, that's one other thing I forgot to tell you guys. Little secret ingredient. It's not so much of a secret. This Weber's roasted garlic and herb seasoning. When I pull my broccoli casserole out of the oven, before I put the cheese on, I do a little light sprinkle of this on top of the broccoli casserole. It's really, really good. So Weber's garlic and herb seasoning. But gosh, this stuff is good on everything. I just love this flavor profile. But yes, I tend to put heavy garlic in everything that I cook. If I make spaghetti, you're pretty much going to have a half a head, if not a whole head of garlic in it. I think my little one's waking up, guys. We may have to stop the live for today. I will come back and go live again tomorrow for some additional prep. But my mashed potatoes, you can do heavy cream or milk, butter, salt, pepper, and mayonnaise. I know that sounds crazy, but it has to be Duke's mayonnaise again, and about a half a cup. It makes them so creamy and so delicious, I promise. I know it sounds crazy. If you've never tried it, give it a try and tell me, even if you put it in a little side bowl, add a little teaspoon of mayonnaise. I think that you'll really like it. My little one is awake, and we don't do him on social media, so I'm going to have to say bye for now, but I will come back again. I may even come live this evening when he takes another nap, or I'll come live tomorrow again around his nap time at 12-ish. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and happy Thanksgiving.